I'd like for you to, if at all possible, share with us and our viewers a case study that where we show where you're able to bring all of these things that you're so passionate about to bear.
Sure thing, Milton. I had a client a few years ago. Actually, a client called me up about 6 years ago. They said, I'm starting a business and I want to get some perspective and help here. They were starting a small restaurant chain. One restaurant became two, became four. And so they didn't quite take the consultation. They did it on their own, which is, I understand where they were coming from, but they came back to me in 2.5 years with, it was a problem from the Department of Labor. It was a whole quagmire of issues around how they paid overtime, not knowing about tip sharing, and not knowing about certain documents, I'll say, you have to give your employees when you hire them. So they were in a whole heap of trouble. So I helped them, I defended them in that situation, that case, and got them on the right track. And then they came to me with a workers' compensation issue, right? They didn't have the right coverage and they were getting penalties. So I worked with them on that, and I invited them to sit down with me and say, let's just meet for like a full day. Just give me the day, you and I in the conference room, or 2 half days, and let's just go over all your issues across the board. How can we get things set up for you? And at first I saw them very hesitant. Well, I'm really busy. I don't have that time to spare. And I said, okay. So I continued along the lines of defending them when problems arose. And I said, listen, my door's always open. If you want to talk, you want to schedule a proactive session, I call it, just give me a call. And then I started to see their change, their attitude, where the more issues that they had, the more they realized that all this employment law and all these business law problems, breach of contracts and vendors, was getting in the way of what they were passionate about, right? Which was, their restaurant and bringing food to people. So I worked with them. Eventually, we got to the point where they were ready to really grow, and they just wanted me to help them with compliance. And we spent a period of time just getting them in order. And I'm happy to say in the last 2.5 years, we've only had one issue, which came up during COVID, and really wasn't, frankly, their fault. But the reason I mentioned that case study is because, in my mind, that's true success. It's a company not just making the same mistake over and over again in different forms, right? But it's taking advantage of the whole process that my firm offers. Let's fix the problems. Let's look at the leaky ceiling, look at the leaky faucet, look at the issue, but let's also look at the foundation, the structure. If you keep getting leaks in your faucet, or the water pressure is not right, maybe you need to look at the whole structure, the whole sink and everything, how it works. So I just felt that it was great, and to see the client really change, and it allowed them to open another restaurant.